Hello, friends. Happy Thursday. Hope everyone's feeling good. I've had quite the busy morning, but I feel like I just adulted all over the place. I needed to go pick up my new glasses. I needed to put petrol in the car. I had to go pick up all my frames, so I went before Christmas and got a couple cross stitches framed. One that I did, and then one that my partner Liam's grandma did for him when he was a baby. And I picked those up today, and they look amazing. I posted them on Instagram if you want to go check them out there. But they just look really good, and I'm super excited about them. I'm just going to turn this music down a smidge, so I'm not shouting. All right. So today, I was alluding to it that I was going to do a third mushroom pin to go with these two guys here. But I'm sort of feeling like I want to go on a little different adventure today. I'm thinking, to be fair, this is sort of still like within the same vein because it's still very whimsical and foresty magical, but we're going to put a tea spin on it. I still want to do like my previous vision of having the dormouse in a teapot from Alice in Wonderland. That is, I don't know, like I just think that'll be super cute, and that is my goal for today. Might actually look up real quick which dormouse Alice in Wonderland. Ooh, don't do that. There we go. Just to sort of see what images come up in terms of teapot colors. The one in the cartoon Alice in Wonderland is yellow, which I'm not super feeling. I'm thinking more of like a purpley kind of mauvey color. So I have this. This looks almost like periwinkly under the lights, but this is like a purple. This is a dark purple. And I want to do like a really different like marbly effect. So I want to add something a little bit lighter. Here is the stash of all of the various wool colors. So I don't know if I want to go gray with it or if I want to do like a pale kind of color. I'm not sure. This one kind of looks nice, and so does this. It's going to be a very cool tone teapot, so I think we'll go with this. We'll see what happens. We'll take a whole bunch of stuff and we'll chuck it on there, mix it up, and see how that looks, and just kind of go from there. So I'm thinking construction-wise, the easiest thing might be to make the main sort of container that the teapot would be, and then make the stem, the base, and like the spout afterwards. But we'll see. We'll see where the afternoon takes us, shall we? So we have our big boy needle. We have our little boy needle. We got our leather finger condoms. Let's go. Okay. Keep these little boys on stream just because they look cute and they match the vibe. So I think in order to do what I want, it might be a good idea to use Freg for reference. So this is how big Freg is, and I would assume, like, I wouldn't want to go any smaller for the dormouse than this, because then I think it might be really difficult for me to sort of get details and stuff on him. So using this as a frame of reference, I think obviously a little bit skinnier, he needs to fit in the teapot. So we'll be referring back to him, I think, over the course of the stream, just to sort of make sure that he fits. Oh, this is something I have previously needle felted. Whoops. Okie dokes. Yeah, I definitely want to be heavier on the light color with a little bit of the purple. I'm wondering if I can reuse this. I've already like stitched a bunch of it together. I was making a gladiolus pin for my mother-in-law, and I think I made it this was too small. So I need to update it. But once you like needle felt something together, you can't like take it apart without physically cutting it. So unless I can reuse that for something later on, it's kind of not gonna work. So yeah, I haven't really experimented a lot with sort of color blending in terms, like when it comes to needle felting. So we'll see how this goes. Because I don't really, like, I want almost kind of like a marbly effect. I guess once we make the actual structure of the teapot, we can probably add a little bit more, like, just kind of swirlies and stuff onto it in general, maybe. Like, that might be a way to get that, that vibe, that look. So using, I definitely, I don't know, we'll see. We'll probably have to use a lot more wool in this, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I just think that it needs like another color just to sort of balance it out a little bit. This is all like trial and error. I don't know if there's like a easier way, a better way to sort of achieve marbling within needle felting, but we're just gonna do this and see if we can't get some sort of cohesive looking marbly floof together. Because the more sort of, I guess, marbled it looks, like I think that that's sort of going to be the key. So we need to break all these different pieces up. Hopefully this looks good. And then so I think too, like the main body of the teapot, I'll probably end up putting like a little base underneath it. Because some teapots have almost like, you know how teacups have like little stems at the bottom? Teapots do too, but like not always. That's the thing, like I feel like we can go as sort of ornate and fancy with it as we want. Whether or not my creative capacity to do so is an option for us, but we'll try. We'll see how it goes. This little guy has been, I'm gonna add to the clumpage. Okay, this is kind of where we're at in terms of our marbling. Guess we'll just try. Let's just test her out, see how it goes. Because remember, the goal is for like skinny frag to like fit in the teapot. So it needs to be a decent size. So it might be worth spreading this out and then just doing a bit of a base back and forth. And we'll see how it turns out. But yeah, so in case you've, I feel like I've talked about it a few times, but the gift card saga is over. I managed to procure a gift card for my friend and sent it off same day, so I don't have to deal with like the online stuff anymore, which is fabulous. Ooh, I just stabbed that way too hard. So yeah, that's good. Ventured out into the world today, which is always a little bit nerve-wracking, but we're back in our safe space, back in our crafting corner, our little piece of the world, and this is where we're gonna hang out. So we need to start thinking, well, I need to start thinking of how I'm gonna start turning this into a bowl. I think we'll start with this. Fold these edges in on itself. I don't know if I secured them enough before I started doing this, but I feel like this is sort of the more important part, is like getting the shape, and then we can always bulk it up with other bits and pieces as we go. I think it's probably gonna look a little bit like a purple boat as we start. It kind of looks like troll hair right now. Like we could just, yeah, like we could put a troll face right here. That's sort of the current vibe that we're getting. But once we turn this in, it'll start looking a little less like some wild hair. Need to like adjust my sitting position. We need to tuck ourselves in. We need to see what's going on here. We can put our tools away so we have a bit more room here. There we go. Tuck myself in. See what I'm doing. There we go. Don't know if Shadow will be making an appearance on stream today. He's currently hanging out downstairs with Liam because Liam is home today. But maybe he'll come up and say hi later. So yesterday we managed, or yeah, it was yesterday because we streamed Wednesday instead of Tuesday. But we're still going. I think I set, I mentioned we totally crushed February's follower goal. But my like way to get there was for us to be getting one new follower every stream. And so far, I think we're still doing that. So that's really exciting. Because I think we're on 33 right now. And so it would be wild if we could get to 40 by the end of the month. Like that would be some next level shiz. Ooh, this is gonna have to get much taller and smaller. I think we joined the edges together too soon. Looks just like a multicolored bird's nest now, which I'm not mad about. But we're really gonna have to stitch this guy down, wool this guy together. You know, you start making something and you're like, this doesn't look like, I'm already thinking about like what sort of shape is a teapot. Like it definitely has that could work. I guess the other thing too is there is no like definitive teapot shape, as long as it's like cylindrical to hold the vessel and has like a spout and a handle. Like you can call it a teapot, I think. But I'm like, why does this not look like what I want it to do? Okay. We're just gonna be spending a hell of a lot of time hanging this down. I might think we need, there we go. Because then it doesn't matter if we stab ourselves because we're protected. I have a feeling this is going to get much smaller. Not sure why this side is so much fuller than the other side. Whoops. Okay, so Freg fits inside this. So this is the right sort of, I guess, depth that we need. But as you can see, it is flimsy as all hell. So we might need to gonna hammer down and then sort of build our way up. I like this color though, like the color combo. I'm happy with how this has worked. Yeah, this is like super sheer. It's okay. One of the things I read online with like needle felting is it's not gonna look like what you want it to look like 90% of the time you're working on it. I think we might have to bulk it up this way. So we'll put this off to the side because it's looking real thin, but I don't want to lose the width too much. So we just keep building up the sides. I'm probably I should keep this unsheathed. Actually, this might, no, I'm like, maybe this would make a base. If I felted it down more and like circulared it, maybe it can be, ooh. Maybe it can be the top of the teapot, the lid. That's the word I'm looking for, the lid of the teapot. Yeah, because we have very little of that lavender wool, which will make things complicated if we're trying to make that like the main color. Okie dokes. Really got to break up this fuchsia. It's too bold. not be the worst thing. Okay, let's add keep my fingers safe. Ooh. Don't know if that one's gonna work for us today. Don't want to join these together. This is just like the cutest little bird's nest right now, but that is not what we're going for. We don't want bird's nest, we want teapot, but we're definitely not there yet in any sense of the word. I'm wondering if we just have to make this boy as dense as we can and build him up. So it might become like a teeny tiny teapot. But that just might, I don't know, we'll just make a teeny tiny dormouse. Because this needs to get a hell of a lot more dense to have any sort of structural integrity. And that is what we need. Right now it's just dense and fluffy, but we need it to get like thick boy dense, like these bad boys. Right now it's like looking like an incohesive little mess. And so we need to add some stronger cohesion to it all. Maybe instead of sticking it on the outside, I should be sticking her on the inside. Let's try that. Oh no, I kicked Frag off from under his toadstool. Okay. We're in densify mode. So maybe if we just real carefully, and by carefully I mean chaotically, stab repeatedly in the same place, we'll start to get the density that we so crave for this piece. Oh, jeez. Moving the whole mat around. Ooh, whoa. Just nearly avoided stabbing our finger, so that means we need to put these bad boys back on for safety. Stay safe, kids. Okay. So now this kind of looks like the top half of a jellyfish, which also wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I think we are slowly but surely getting it to the density that we so require in order for this to be a viable option for us. I think now what I'm like realizing / remembering is obviously like teapots go out and then they also go in. So we need to keep that in mind as well. I'm like, I really want to do that just so it starts to look like a teapot, but I'm worried if we do that before this is like super secured, then it's gonna cause problems for us later on the line, and we don't want that. But I'm loving this marbly effect that we have going on for this. This is definitely what I had in mind, so that's good. I'm glad that's working out for us. It's a little more on the like darker side than this lighter side, but it looks unique and interesting, and that's all that matters. I almost forgot to say, we have our stream tea. We're back on our decaf Earl Grey, which seems very fitting for today's needle felting festivities. When I was out doing all my running around today, I actually had, I can't remember the last time I actually had this, but I had a chai tea latte from Muffin Break and a gluten-free banana honey muffin for lunch, which was very nice. But it's always really interesting to me when you get like tea lattes, like either green tea or chai tea lattes at like places like Muffin Break, Starbucks, Costa, places like that. So much of it is just like powders and syrups. Like because I asked if their chai tea latte was gluten-free, because now I'm all worried since I've, was low-key glutening myself this whole time with oat milk. And so the woman was just like, oh, you can like read the ingredients on this back of this bottle. And it was just like this giant syrup bottle. So I'm like, oh, I guess all of the chai flavoring just comes from this syrup, and it's not actually like chai tea herbs and spices. So it tasted amazing, but it's always just like, oh, that's a bit disappointing. And it's probably why like all I needed was a muffin and a latte. I just had a wrap before stream, but I was like, I'm still quite full. It's probably because like there's hella calories in that. Whereas if it was just like actual chai tea and a latte, like the only real like sugars and stuff you'd get probably is from whatever milk you use. And then if you use a bit of like stuff to sweeten it. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about like just liquid chai flavoring. Okay. This is gonna have to be a tiny, tiny mouse, isn't it? To be fair, I don't really want him like to just completely disappear in it. I kind of want him like poking out of the side of the teapot. So as long as we make him like real skinny, I think that will work. The other option is to maybe do this in 2 parts. Like not 2 parts, but like build this up some more. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll like make this section really dense and almost do like half the teapot base or like body of the teapot, and then we'll do some like walls either side to bulk it up some more. Cause me thinks that we went too thin before we did our circle. So I don't want to make the same mistake. Hello! Hi, Jazzy. Lovely to see you. You having a good day so far? What time is it? Are you... It's still the morning for you, isn't it? You're like 5 hours ahead? Is it breakfast time? Okay. 3, 2... Math. 12, 11. Yeah, okay, cool. So it's like similar to Ontario time. That's helpful. Ooh, what what did you paint them, wrap them, do like a combo? Very nice. That's my weekend to-do list. One of them is updating my nails. Ooh. Okay. So I'm hoping that this will sort of be like the bottom half of the teapot, and then we'll make a top half and fuse them together, and hopefully it doesn't look like trash. But we shall see. Is that the Princess Patchwork? Is that the brand, or is that like the theme of the nail wraps? Yeah, because he will sit in here. And so, okay. We are running low on this lavender, which is not good. Doesn't really look like much yet, but I'm happy with the color scheme. I'm doing kind of like a marbled effect where I'm mixing 3 different wool colors. I like that. The name of the pattern. Cute. If you post a photo of it anywhere, link it to me and I will take a look, because that sounds really pretty. Now we're running the risk of there being severe differences between the top half and the bottom half of this teapot, but this is what we're doing, so we'll see how she goes. Maybe what we'll try to do is build it up vertically. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So far. Okay. I think now we have our similar marble consistency. Hopefully, fingers and toes crossed. Now I think the move might be to go outwards and up, just so that it connects. Maybe? Question mark? what sort of random ass impurities keep showing up in this. I think it's just like paper or cardboard or something. Okay, as long as it's not like my nail polish chipping off, because that's definitely happened before. Not in a felting project, thankfully. But safety first. So the goal for today's stream, besides make something that looks like a teapot, is to get one more follower before the end of stream. Because if we're doing one follow a stream, I think that's making good progress. And we are on the right track. Okay, this is not thick enough. Think so we're not running the risk of getting into the problems we had before. We need to dense this up a little bit to start, but I feel like if it gets too dense, then there is a chance that it's not gonna look cohesive. So F it, let us just attach it and see what happens. The moment of truth. I don't think it needs to be too much taller. I just wanted it to have enough that we could bring it over. So what might happen is this stuff will end up coming down anyway. So fingers and toes crossed. Let's just stab all of this into here. We don't need it to be perfect. It just needs to be secured. Now we're definitely kind of looking like a jellyfish right now. We're like, looks like a doll's head a little bit. A little bit. Just check. You have to put your groceries away. Yeah, 33. So we can get to 34 by the end of stream. Like, that's, like, we're laughing. That's all. That's amazing. Okay. So let us dense this up a little bit. Oh, that would be amazing. That would be the dream. I've been like scrolling all over like Etsy and Fiverr, just like looking at different like emotes and stuff and like getting inspiration and ideas for like things that I would want to have on the stream. Just like opens up so many more possibilities once you get affiliate, eh? Like there's just so many more different like things you can do, like so much more fun you can have with like emotes and sounds and bits and bobs and all that kind of stuff. And so I'm really excited to get to a place where we can do that. Yeah. Yeah, that's the part that I find interesting. The 3 average. I almost got there yesterday. It's the 30-day period, isn't it? Where it's... But hopefully... Yeah, I saw one on Etsy. It's this really cute, like, one that this person does where it's a teacup and then they have, like, a little animal, like a little cat or a little dog, like, popping out of the teacup. Those were, like, sub badges, and they were just the cutest things in the world, and he does custom ones. So I'm like, I want a teacup, and I want Shadow popping out of a teacup. Like, I would love that. Yeah, there seems to be, like, an order of difficulty, eh? Like, by the time, like, once you stream, like, the weeks or the hours and stuff, like, that one's easy. That one will just happen as long as you're streaming regularly. But I know what you mean, where it's, like, the average view count and stuff seems to be where things get a little more complicated. Okay, this is good. I think I'll actually fold this down because I don't need it to be as tall as this, and that will give us our bulk. Maybe I'll do, I think maybe it's gonna have to happen in like thirds, hopefully. We only have so much more lavender thread or lavender wool, so I really wish I could take this apart, but I can't. Oh, yeah, maybe I can steal some of the floss from this. A lot of it is stitched together. The emotes, yes. So I feel like my problem is that I can't I struggle to have like a distinct specific theme. So like I want it to be kind of tea related and a little bit witchy and a little bit like nature foresty and yeah, I don't know, like a little bit crafty. I don't know. I know. I feel like I need to, like, pick a lane. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I found a few. I know my cousin, like, my cousin's an artist. Or, like, Liam's cousin's an artist. And she does commissions and stuff. I don't know if she's ever done emotes. It is, like, I spent hours scrolling the other day. Just, like, looking at all the, like, talented people out there. It's really cool. Even if they're, like, not kind of the theme that you want to go with. They're just really cool to look at. But, yeah, so I don't know if she does emotes. I still have to ask her. But that would be really cool if she could. But if not, like, I've found a few online that I really like. This is not enough. We need more. There's like a certain number of emotes that you can get to start, right? Is it something like 5? Okay, I don't think we're gonna have enough lavender to do this whole thing. So when we go to do the spout and the handle, we're gonna need to make some revisions. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Don't even know what this looks like right now. It looks like some weird ass furniture. Like a chair or something. Yeah, that about sums me up. Earthy tea theme. Okay. Here's phase 2. I don't know, let's just try to get a whole ass piece. Let's just do the most. Because Tasha's getting impatient. Is there any more of this I can salvage? Maybe. Yeah. Like little boys like these. Just ones that look like I like toadstools because I like picturing like little mice and little frogs, like anthropomorphic creatures having tea parties on them or sitting on them or using them as umbrellas. Okay, this mound got floofy. We're gonna put this guy here just so we can really stretch this guy out. Make sure. Oh, I don't know. I don't think so. I like my overlay, but I'd be open. Yeah. Yeah. I know, I love it. You're asking all the right questions. I know, like, my overlay background, you can't really see it, obviously, because the cameras and stuff are in the way. Here, I'll show you. You can kind of see on my, like, BRB screen all the, like, different components. Like, it's not all of them, like, 100%, but I got, like, little ghosties, little teapots, little, like, nature things, stuff like that. Like, those are sort of, like, the vibe. Yeah. But it doesn't have to be those big ones. Yeah. You're like my personal emote shopper, Jazzy May. It's so amazing. I'm like, girl, here's my vibe, and you're like, I got you. Okay, is this gonna be enough to wrap around? I hope so. Yeah, it should. Do it in sections just to keep it simple. Yeah. I know, it seems like it's gonna be dangerous. It's like, you know, when you go somewhere, you find something, you're like, yeah, just one more. Oh, just one more. Okay. Spread these bad boys out a little bit. Oh no, maybe I should stitch these together. Oh, there we go. Just do a quick. There we go. We'll sort of kind of maybe stab these all into place and hope for the best. Oh my goodness. Hi. That's Susie LaFille. Thank you so much for the raid. This is amazing. It's my second raid ever. Everyone just be chill. Just be chill. Like, it's fine. It's cool. It's fine. Hi. I hope everyone's having a fabulous Thursday. Thank you so much. You ready to have a fabulous tea party Thursday? The goal is for this to eventually look like a teapot. It doesn't look like anything right now, but that's the goal. And we're drinking our own tea to help fuel us in our endeavor to make a teapot. Hello, Susie LaFille. Thank you so much for the raid. That was so kind of you. We be out here needle felting. It looks like a jellyfish. Yeah, honestly. Just act cool, guys. Be chill. Be chill. Second raid ever. Ah, Nungdae, my girl, my gang. Thank you so much. Yes, I hope you all have your cup of tea ready. Right? Like, it looks like a floof, but it's the prettiest floof you'll ever did see. Aw, 35. Thank you guys so much. Who's our new gang? We got Blaze Winterbone and Chud99. Thank you so much for the follow. Kay Quimmy, thank you so much for the follow. Oh my goodness, you guys. We'll celebrate by needle felting this floof. We're drinking decaf Earl Grey while we make a teapot. It's already cold. I have needle felting tea. It's the most colorful floof that ever did floof. Yeah, it's my fave. Especially like spring, summertime. Earl Grey. Yay! Chud! Canadian represent! So exciting. Yeah, do it. Go get some nice chill tea vibes for the nice chill tea stream. But yeah, Noonday, I was saying, like, Earl Grey, 100%, like, springtime, afternoon, that sort of thing. But then, like, in the fall, I'm, like, chai, very, like, nutty, earthy. I'm from, like, northern Ontario. So, specifically, it's this town called Sudbury. It's a mining town about 4.5 hours north of Toronto. And I've been in the UK going on 5 years now. Are you in the UK too? Oh, do you have a massive tea collection too, Kay? I've like slowly decluttered mine, but I think there's still like 20 teas on the list. Ooh, vanilla chai. Or are you in New Brunswick currently? I was trying to think, what time is it there then? It still must be early. Or is it finally like getting close to lunchtime? I've actually never been to the east coast of Canada. Everyone else in my family, immediate family, except for me has. Yeah, lunchtime. East Coast is where all the best seafood is at. So my parents went for the PEI food festival, and then my brother went the following summer, and they toured around all of the like East Coast, and I've never been, which is such a shame. Okay, this one was much thinner than the other one that we made. Whoops. I know! Severely missing out. Yeah, no, it's because most of my additional family is on the West Coast, so they're like Alberta based, so that's usually where all of my like within Canada traveling goes, but it's on the list. Oh, okay, you had to purge the old ones too. Oh, good choice, good choice. Earl Grey, good choice. Yeah, I actually brought tea with me when I moved because I amassed a tea collection in Canada, and I wasn't just going to leave it behind. Like, I wasn't just going to not have it. So it came with me in my suitcase. And I think now I've finally, you know, it's been a hot minute, but I've finally finished the teas that I brought with me. It only took me, you know, 4 years to do it. Right? Okay. Now this looks like a big old, like, sea anemone. But we're not mad about it. I'm not mad about it at all. So hopefully once this, like, denses itself down, then we can cinch it in and give it, you know. And then we can finally move on to making the handle and the spout. I don't know if we'll get to the dormouse today. The ultimate is to like have a dormouse that will fit in the teapot, a la Alice in Wonderland. Right now I'm using my little frag replica as sort of a baseline of like making sure that he fits in the teapot. And he does, so that's good. I feel like I started, I guess, a couple years, because I feel like I started around kind of pandemic time, and yeah, my friend actually gave me a kit, because she was like, oh, like, I got this needle felting kit, and I have no patience for it, do you want it? And I'm like, I'm always down for new crafts. And it just, like, low-key blew my mind that you can take, like, essentially, like, fluff and stab it for, like, repetitively for, you know, a couple hours, and it makes things. Like, Like, you take these, there's these special needles, and they have, like, little indents and stuff in them, and I guess they're dented in a specific way that when you stab it through the wool, it, like, knots it in a specific way that gives it, like, a kind of density and attaches everything together. And then if you do that enough, within the shape that you want, it makes the shape. Like, what? So I also cross stitch. So on Tuesdays, that's usually like cross stitch is the main. Cross stitch, needle felting are the main crafting loves. But I've also done like bead weaving. So I've made like jewelry. Trying to think what else I've done. Those are kind of the three main ones, actually. Oh, I've done like physical felting. So, like, instead of needle felting, like, actually, like, cut out pieces of felt and made, like, little felt creatures with it. But the main crafts are... I know, right? Like, who thought of the idea of, like, what if we take this thing and we stab it with a specific thing and it makes another thing? Then what? I'm like, yeah. But mostly needle felting and cross stitching are like my main loves. I was just saying at the beginning of stream, I got one of the pieces that I did professionally framed, and I picked it up today, and it looks so good. I put it back in the bubble wrap, though, because, like, the room it's going to live in permanently has a bunch of crap in it because we're doing some construction. And so I don't want to, like, unearth it until I know it's going to be, like, hung on its forever part of the wall. So right now we're just firming up these sections to make them a bit denser and not as fluffy. And then I'm hoping we can pinch it to make sort of the top hole of the teapot. That's the goal with this. Guys, we're 4 followers away from 40. That's wild. That just is incredible to me. The goal was 30 at the end of Feb, and now we're almost at 40. Like, that's just, like... so good. Thank you so much, Nunde, for organizing this, like, you know, for name-dropping me for a raid. And then we make some new friends. I love that for us. Let's make sure all of the quadrants have been sufficiently attached together. Now the base still feels really like thin, but I'm thinking we'll do sort of like a little base to go on the bottom of it. I feel like that's usually what happens more with like teacups. They'll have like a little fancy kind of base at the bottom, but I feel like some teapots do too. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make it fancy. Only the best for the future dormouse that will be inhabiting it. Let's not stab ourselves. We're gonna slowly close in the teapot. Oh my goodness. So luckily, the difference between the bottom half and the top half of this doesn't seem super noticeable because I made sort of like a base kind of cocoon and I got really worried. Oh. Let me check. What'd you find? Ha! That's amazing. You started saving them for me. That's incredible. Jazzy May is helping me look for future emote options when we finally get to affiliate and can start making that happen. And we were talking about how, like, satisfying it is to just, it's like window shopping where you just scroll through, like, Etsy or Fiverr and just see all of the amazing artists out there doing such cool stuff. And you're just like, ooh. Even if it's, like, not the vibe, you're just, like, super, like, oh, this is so cool. So, it's very exciting stuff. But yeah, hopefully soon. Because I kind of want to get all that lined up. Because I feel like as soon as, like, we make it to that 50 and we get those viewers and we are able to do that, like, I want to just, like, reward everybody for the support and, like, get you guys an emote, like, straight out the gate. So I want to have it, like, pre-ready, you know? I don't want to get there and then not have anything to, like, celebrate with for you guys. Oh, I've been, like, off. There we go. Let's move this so you can see the floof in all of its floofy glory. Okay. Looking like a flower, but we don't hate it. Well, let's do frag check. Make sure. Oh, yeah. Pfft. He can hang in there all day long. So I'm gonna pinch these and hope that that will be enough to start sealing it together. There we go. And then we can kind of mold it out from there. Thank you so much for hanging out, Jazzy May. I will talk to you later. Enjoy your breakfast. Thank you for stopping by, and I will talk to you soon. Have a lovely day. Bye. Kind of, like, I think so far I haven't needle felt it enough to be like, we're going to pivot and go in a different direction, Ched. But I could definitely see it happening. Where it'd be like, this is sort of the vibe, and then it's like, this isn't going well. But so far, everything I've started out with, I've managed to turn into what the goal was. Whether or not it looks as good as I think I wanted it to, that's a different question. But yeah, so far, everything has sort of materialized the way I wanted it to. But I think it's because I haven't kind of undertaken anything too complicated yet. This almost seems like the most complicated so far because it has, like, it's more three-dimensional. But I do love, like, looking at something and seeing all of the different things it could be. Like, this could have been... Yeah, like, this could have been, like, an anemone, like, it could have been a jellyfish, like, it could have been a different flower, like, it's already taken on so many forms. I think the other thing, too, like I was saying earlier, that what, like, the first kit that I got, it just came with verbal instructions, it didn't have any pictures, so it would be like, you know, you want it to slightly resemble this shape, and I'm sitting there like, I don't know what shape you want me to make. Like, I don't know what you mean. So I ended up doing a lot of, like, YouTube research and stuff and, like, reading blogs. And one of the things I read was somebody saying that when you're needle felting, like, not to get discouraged, because probably for 90% of the time you're needle felting, it's going to look nothing like what you want it to. And then in the last 10%, it all comes together. So that's something to keep in mind. Like, I definitely recommend trying it. But if it doesn't look like sort of what you want it to right away, don't get discouraged, because it sounds like from the professional needle felters out there, it doesn't for anyone until, like, they're so close to finishing it. If you can't kind of see it coming together right away, it's like, are you worried? Like, get nervous and like, oh no, abandoned ship, like, this is not going well. Yeah. Yeah, definitely, like, I don't know what this kit name was, but, like, definitely if you're gonna pick up a kit, I would highly recommend hopefully finding one that has, like, visual kind of aids to walk you through what each thing is gonna look like. Because, yeah, it just seemed really dumb, especially when it comes to, like, crafts and stuff. I feel like like, looking at something through stages, like, the visual component of it is so important. So to just be like, no, we're just going to verbally walk you through this, I'm like, that's not on. That doesn't compute in my brain. But I guess then it's just, like, trusting the process. But I know I struggle with that. Ooh, yeah. How are you finding macrame? I've talked to a few people about it. Like, or a few people have told me that they've gotten into it. And I'm always like, yeah, like, it's always really interesting to me. That does seem like something that you'd have to, like, watch a video about, because it would be like, you know, make this knot and thread this way. And you'd be like, I don't know what you mean. Yeah, you are too, eh, Ninda? Ninde? Yeah. I know. That's cool, yeah. I like crafts that have kind of like a do-over button. You know, like a little bit of a manual override if something doesn't work out. That's the only other thing that, like, I was sort of warned or read up about if you do try needle felting. Is to, it's like less is more, because once you've felted it all together, you can't pull it apart again. But if you use too little, you can add. So that's something to keep in mind if you decide that you want to try needle felting. Because it doesn't have as, you know, forgiving of a redo button that some other crafts do. Nunga, is that spinning like your own yarn? Like your own wool or your own yarn? Oh, that's cool. That's good to know as well. Oh, okay, that's actually really helpful, because I feel like I've heard, yeah, like, I always feel like learning to knit would be really interesting, but to know that the crochet has a more successful undo button than the knitting does sounds really good. Ooh, an Ashford wheel. That seems like it would be really fun. Like, that seems like it would be, like, just really, like, meditative and, like, not, like, mindless because you're focusing on, like, making a good product, but that just seems like it would be really chill. Okay. So we can go a little bit smaller with that. Okay. Yeah. So have you ever spun your own yarn before? Because I know that were you making a sweater last time we were chatting? So do you make your own yarn to then make your own projects with? So I was really convoluted of saying, do you make the stuff you use? Okie dokie. Enjoy your lunch. I hope it's super tasty. Yeah, eat your food. Okay. So we need to figure out how to cinch this in a little bit more, and then I think we're actually ready to make this kind of look like a teapot now, because we've been working towards that and we're not quite there yet. What time is it anyway? Wow, time flies. That's really cool. Can't wait for you to find that. Like, it's going to be so satisfying because it's almost like you've created something with something you've created, which is so cool. Now you just got to, like, you know, whittle or make your own crochet hooks, and then the whole thing will be, like, full circle. Let me check this out. Oh, that's so cool. So it's like, it looks like there's foot pedals. Probably like a multi-limbed job, isn't it? So you have your foot pedals, and then you probably have like both hands. So you're sort of like maybe wishing you had like octopus arms so you could do all the different things at once. Okay. Now we just need to keep... Now why isn't this pinching smaller? That's really cool. Love that for you. So then do you dye the like yarn as well? And then you spin it into like whatever colors and stuff? Or is that sort of like next level stuff? It's like a slow... Okay. This is our base. I do want this to be a little bit denser. So we'll just go and firm all this up. And then we'll move on to the spout and the handle. I was like struggling to think of what those things were called, and so I like sang the I'm a Little Teapot song in my brain to be like, oh yeah, handle and spout. Okay, Yes, those are what they're called. Because the sun hasn't gone down yet, but I can already feel my brain slowly in shutdown mode. Which is not good. I feel like once the sun goes down, I straight up just forget words. Just feel like I'm playing like a constant game of there's, you know, it's not like charades, but isn't there like not Cluedo. There's like a card game that you play where you have to get somebody to guess the word without saying the word and say a bunch of different, like quibble or something like that. That's what I have to play with my partner all the time. Yeah, it's wild that tomorrow's Friday, eh? It does feel like the week's gone by really quickly. Yeah, maybe. That might be what it's called. 100% K. Yeah, no, I think it is taboo. So yeah, I make my partner play that game with me every night when my brain shuts off and I forget what words. I just forget words. But luckily he's a champion about it. Or he just kind of rolls his eyes and goes, whatever, you figure it out. Yeah, honestly, it's like, I don't know, depending on how old you guys are, but like the dial-up tone when you would connect to the internet, like that's literally sometimes what my brain sounds like, I feel. The dial-up tone of your brain trying to connect to the internet. Some days. Okay. Oop, almost. Think we need to put these on for protection. We almost stabbed ourselves again. Just want to firm things up in here. We're not really going to see the insides. It doesn't matter that it's all floofy, but it'll just be helpful, I think, to like get our future dormouse settled if there's not all these fibers in its way. So it can be all comfy cozy. I definitely feel some like lopsided thicknesses, but as long as it stands up on its own, then that's all we can really ask of it. It kind of looks like one of those, like, I think there may be fabric softeners, but you can buy like eco fabric softening balls or fabric like lint roller balls, and I think a lot of them are needle felted around them to make them look pretty. That's kind of what this looks like to me. Kind of looks like a really cool, it looks like a bath bomb actually from here. Like it looks like, yeah, it looks like a bath bomb. Cute. Don't throw this in the bath though. That would be no fun. I feel like wet wool probably feels really gross. Or it would just be like, oh, wouldn't be a fun time. Okay. Let's now firm up around the mouth of the teapot. I know, I'm like getting antsy, like I want to get onto the other components, but I just feel like if we don't secure its foundation, we're gonna have a bad time, and we don't want that. So do that. Okay, we'll do a little check, make sure. Oh yeah, he can fit in there fine. If anything, we can probably make this a little bit smaller. This is definitely the weakest side. The weakest link. Goodbye. Under F. Okay, where did I say? Like around here, the weak side. So if we try to cinch these guys together, this is sort of the section where we make it a bit smaller, a bit tighter. Then this will get a little bit firmer as well, and then it won't feel as loosey-goosey. Oh, we're out of the frame. There we go. I feel like as I craft, I slowly like crouch and turn into like a gremlin and then move everything that I'm doing off stream. So I need to like posture check, make sure that this is in the frame. Ooh, just hucking it all over the place. There we go. Okay, I think we are ready for our spout and our handle, which we need to make. Now, I basically ran out of the like lilac-y thread, lilac-y wool that I was using. It was taken from like an old project that I was doing that wasn't the right size, and so some of this is partially felted together, which isn't good. But I'm wondering actually if I could turn this into the like base of my teapot, maybe. It's gonna kind of be a bit uneven in terms of color though, because if I do this, then it's not gonna actually this might make a decent handle now that I look at it. And it's already needle felted, so we can't do a lot in terms of color mixing. But if I sort of spread out the different color flosses here, I think we might have saved it. Oh, that's exciting. I obviously didn't felt that section enough in the center to be able to still use it for this, which is really good. Now this one is really vibrant, so I don't need to use too much to get my point across. Okay, might as well. And then we'll felt the crap out of this sort of section and leave these edges spindly, because then that will allow us to attach it to our teapoot without any issues. And I gotta figure out what would be the best side for that. I'm thinking here and here will be our goal, but we will see when we've made it. Yeah, I didn't even realize that. But love it. Needle felting humor. Okay. And probably one of the things that it might work, might not work. I'm going to sort of twist it and see if that will help secure some of these. I'm getting like a stripe now, which isn't my favorite, but I don't know. It's a vibe. We'll go with it. It's only because it's such a thin amount that I want it to actually firm up. And let me know if you find the incessant stabbing noises really obnoxious, and we'll maybe switch to something else. It's only because this one, I have this one, which isn't as loud. Actually, it might work. But I find that the wool sticks to it, which isn't ideal. But it's not as noisy. So if the noises are bothering people, then we can switch it. Oh, that's good. Yeah, somebody told me that they almost find it like a little bit meditative, so as long as it's a decent noise and not like, you know, like a fly buzzing in your ear, then we'll keep going. This is actually very I don't care. Just find that the actual bulk of this is really dark compared to this, but that's all right. I feel like that might be kind of cool, kind of contrasty. Why not? Now I don't think the handle needs to be that big. Yeah, that's sort of the idea. So we need to then take this and curve it. Get the curvy vibes. Oh, does it? Yeah, I could. I bet it has kind of like a bit of a whooshing noise. That's what I envision. That's what, when I think of you spinning yarn, Noonday, I think of just like a nice subtle whooshing noise of like the wheels spinning back and forth. You should speed test yourself one day. See how fast you can move those pedals. Without, you know, breaking anything, of course. We don't wanna hurt your spinning wheel. But I think it'd be really cool if you like timed how fast you could spin. Do like cardio spinning. Yeah. Floof would just be everywhere. Like, it would just be total carnage. That, or you might give yourself, like, serious, like, yarn burn. Like, if you're going that fast and trying to, like, spin it at the same time. So, maybe don't do that. I don't want you to hurt your fingers. I don't want you to get floof burn. Yeah, he just likes to move the pedals. Do you ever tag team where you get him to, like, do the spinning and then you do, like, the floof control? Or is then it no fun for him? That's just, like, one step too far. We almost have our handle. 'Tis looking pretty good. Oh yeah, it would be. Yeah, I guess everything is probably facing forward. It wouldn't really. Yeah. I feel like consistency is key with yarn spinning, isn't it? Ooh. I'll have to check that out. Like, I'm really interested to kind of see it in motion and see how all that works. I'll have to save that and check it out. Woo! TBM Nathan, thank you so much for the follow. So exciting. Love it. New friends, new follow friends. We are getting up there. Ooh, welcome. Welcome to the crafty side, I guess. We're glad you're here. Oh, did you used to stream Spinning Ning Day? Because you totally should. That would be really cool. Oh, that would be really chill. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, we'll see. Are you from the wonderful world of gaming? That's where my partner's streaming comes from. So this is foreign to him as well. Yeah, I could see that, Ningday. I think you guys, so much love. I appreciate it. Okay, I'm getting impatient now, so let's just attach the handle to this teapot and see how it goes. It's the moment of truth. It should be cute. Yeah. And way back in the day, like, I helped a friend out and I did a couple, like, game streams before. And I guess, yeah, it's a little bit easier once you kind of have all the right hookups. You just can kind of go. Whereas, like, I feel like for crafting, you need, like, multiple cameras and you need all your supplies and you need, you know, things within reach. And at least, like, with a game, it's all kind of in the same place. That's really chill. Yeah. Oh, that's really awesome. Yeah, we know all about that. Actually, yeah, no, that's really cool because obviously, you know, mental health knows no bounds. And neither does mental illness and all that sort. So, yeah, helping to show people. Yeah. The question is, though, Tiama and Nathan, it's a cup. It's going to turn into a pot. The goal is the pot. But it could also be a teacup. But what would you brew in the teacup? Is the most important question. What's your flavor? Tell me what's your flavor. Ooh. The ultimate goal is to have a little dormouse a la Alice in Wonderland peeking out of the top of this teapot. But I don't know if we're going to get to the dormouse today. But we're going to finish the teapot faux show. Ooh, hot chocolate is allowed. We'll allow it. We'll allow it. Peach tea is also an excellent choice. Oh no, is this not centered? Whoops. She's a little skew whiff. Yeah, is it crap up where you are? Crap where you are. Just like been overcasty. Luckily, knock on all of the wood. It's been all right here so far. It kind of doesn't know what it wants to do. Like if it wants to be hot or if it wants to be cold or if it wants to kind of, you know, do all of the things. But I think a hot chocolate would be an excellent cure for the British weather blahs. No, so he's British, so I moved over here from Canada for him. So, yeah, no, he's British, and then I'm Canadian, but we live in the UK. Oh. hear my puppo around downstairs. Usually Shadow will make, you know, stream visits because he's usually asleep beside me. But my partner's home today, so they're hanging out downstairs. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, no, we ended up, so I initially came over here on a youth mobility visa. So it was a 2-year visa that you could get if you were under 30 and had like a certain number of, like a certain amount of money in your bank account. It's meant to be sort of like a work and travel one though, and it's only for 2 years. And so when that visa was ending, I was looking at doing we were looking at doing kind of like the fiance live-in visa situation. But the problem with that one was that we had to be living together for over 2 years, which didn't work for us because my visa was exactly 2 years. So when I got here, like, it expired before we would have been living together for over 2 years, if that makes any sense. Yeah, so we just ended up getting married because that seemed to be the more kind of secure option. But yeah, so I think that's the one thing that I think got us with not doing the fiance one, was because if like you, for instance, lived together somewhere else, no, I don't know. Like, because if you guys haven't lived together before, it might not work. But it would be worth, like, because we ended up contacting this, like, lawyer agency. It was called the IAS, International Advice Service, I think is what it is. And so I basically I think it was actually a free consultation. So I went, when I was still on my youth mobility visa, I went there and like had a consultation with them to like go over all of the options. So it would be worth maybe like contacting them just to be like, here's what we're doing. Like, what are our options visa wise? And they could sort of direct you kind of in the right direction. But yeah. Yeah, because that would be a decent trek, wouldn't it? Mississippi to the UK. Is that East Coast or West Coast? My geography is garbage. Because I know it took, because to Alberta, that's where my parents live right now, because you have to take a bunch of connecting flights. You can't just take a direct flight from, like, Heathrow to there. It ended up being, like, closer to, I don't know, like, 6 hours to Ontario and then another, like, 2-3 to get to, the further side of the West Coast. So, Well, if you're planning to propose to her anyway, like, yeah, I don't know. Again, like, try the youth mobility option. I don't know how old you guys are, but there might be, the other option obviously is, depending on what the work situation is, she could get like a work sponsorship and get a work visa, and then that would not like hinder anything. You can just do that. But yeah, I definitely look at like different options, because like I said, that was, from what I remember, my understanding was there was like a living together component to the fiance visa. So that would be something that you'd have to kind of look into, if you haven't lived together, what the other options might be. So I just shoved a little bit. You can kind of see it in there because I needed to bulk this out and I didn't feel like marbling all of it. So we're just going to shove. Actually, that might be a good thing to do just for the whole thing, just so it looks cohesive. Yeah. Oh, so you might be moving, you think? Yeah. Because I don't know what it would be like in the States. Like, this is purely from, like, a British standpoint, but they could have different rules and stuff. Like, every country, I think, has their own kind of visa rules. I know the other thing, too, I don't know how it works with, like, fiance rules and things like that, but I know for our spousal one, so the stabbing is how we've created the fluffy teapot. So that's the wild thing about needle felting, is you basically take this, which is floof. Well, it's like wool. I think it's called wool roving. And you take a fancy needle that has like little divots in it, and you stab it multiple times, and then it fuses the wool together and makes something. So it just started off as a ball of fluff, and now it's a teapot fluff. So because, like, the more you stab it, the more you stab the thing, but this is within the context of crafting, you guys. The more you stab it, it, like, fuses it together, and then sometimes it can get really dense. So here's an example of just, like, how thick it is when you stab it. Or it can be, like, a bit kind of bouncier and not as dense. 100%. That's why I have these, call them my leather finger condoms. So I stick these on when I'm, like, getting real close to the nitty gritty or, like, having to hold things so I don't accidentally stab myself, because I have, and it's not fun. Sometimes if you're, like, not, like, going full ham, you won't, like, draw blood, I guess. But I definitely have a few times. I was saying before on a previous stream that I don't know why the crafts that I do enjoy all require needles in close contact with my fingers, because the other thing I like to do is cross-stitching. Those needles aren't as sharp, so you can still accidentally stab yourself, but it's not nearly as intense as it is with this bad boy because it's very sharp. Okay, let's make a spout. Let's make a spout and have this really looking like a teapot. I'm still not happy with, like, the top of this teapot because I do need it to be a bit smaller. Yeah, this one, I don't know. So this one is when you're just like, so this one is a bunch of needles all put together, and then that's if you're doing, like, a large chunk of something and you want to sort of bind it together quickly. You take the ultimate stabber and stab things multiple times. But yeah, it's intense. Let me just see if, once again, I can make this a little bit smaller. But yeah, that one's for, like, bigger projects. When I first started out with this, because I was doing, like, a large piece to start binding it, I used the big boy, but now we just kind of need the little guy. Maybe when we make the lid, I'll have to bust out the other guy again. But for now, ooh, it varies. So he's super into Escape from Tarkov. That's the game. Well, he watches a lot of people play it. He plays it, but not as often as he would like. But yeah, Tarkov is his main sort of game at the moment. But he goes back and forth. He's been doing a lot of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. He's been playing this escape room simulator. He's really enjoying that. What else? I'm trying to think. It's like PC games mostly. We do have like a PS4, which I think he was playing a lot of Battlefield on, but he said it's gotten like a little silly, so he's not played it in a while. Also, a lot of like the friends that we have that he would play it with. He's downstairs working. I've kicked him out of this room. This is like our kind of computer crafting gaming PC room. So he's downstairs taking care of Shadow, our puppy, and doing some work, bringing in the moolahs. Yeah, I don't know. Be interesting. Maybe one day he'll magically appear on stream, but he's the background, strong, silent type. Okay, so we have this leftover thread, like partially felted schmidge bit that I think will make a really good spout. Yeah, see, same. I'm the chatty one. He's the observer. Yeah. What do you stream games then, Nathan? And if so, what games do you stream? Okay, I think possibly. Okay. Flight sims. That's really cool. There's this one, what was it? There's one game that my father-in-law was super into for a long time. He was into like the trucking simulator games. And then also he's super into this game called Tank Builder. I think because he's really like, he's a history buff and really into like planes and tanks and stuff. So yeah, every time we would be on, Liam would log on line to the PS4, they'd see that like my father-in-law was playing Tank Builder. That's really cool that you do sort of like an eclectic amount, because you have your flight sim, you got like some Zelda, you got like a whole bunch of different cool variety, which is nice. We're gonna do the twist and stab method because that seemed to work decently last time. And we can actually finish one of the edges instead of like the spout where I needed to leave the floofs on either end. We can actually finish one of them, and that will be our spout. And then we don't know if we'll have time today to finish the lid of the teapot. That might be next Felting Thursday's job, but we'll definitely finish the Spout. Yeah, no, that makes sense. It's more like you have games on that are more chill, kind of in the background, so you can more chat and hang out while the games are sort of happening. That's cool. No, I stream Tuesdays and Thursdays. So it's same time. It's always 3 p.m. GMT to like 5. It's usually till 5. Sometimes it's till 5:30. Sometimes it's till 6. Like seeing how we're doing. But yeah, Tuesdays and Thursdays are the main ones. Yeah, so Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays is usually cross-stitching, and then Thursdays is needle felting. So that's the current schedule. Cool, yeah, thank you. It was super chill having you stop by. Thank you so much for venturing into the crafting side of Twitch. It's been really fun having you around. Enjoy your farming sim. And have a great rest of your day. Yeah, definitely. I'll pop on your Discord. Faux show. Bye. And again, thank you for the follow. Just, yeah. Thank you so much. Okay, now I'm really, oh, this is gonna be interesting. Trying to make a spout. They're kind of like angled. Maybe this could work. It's like I'm trying so hard to make a spout shape and also not stab myself and also just, yeah. I think it's working. Okay, that is looks like a snake. I'm a snake. Jeez, how old's that meme video? I'm sure that's ancient. Back in the pure days of YouTube, eh? I'm a snake. Or is that a vine? I'm not sure. It's one of those things that I don't think I've actually seen myself. It's just that everybody I know quotes it, and I've also like come across clips of it, but I don't think I actually have seen the original content with which that meme was born. I'm a snake. Okay. Sorta, kind of, maybe. Now, I think the hard part, or not the hard part, but the thing that's going to be the kicker is like, first of all, making this look right, making sure it's straight on the teapot, and making sure... Oh, you know the, I'm a snake. Isn't it the guy who like has a little hat on? He goes like, I'm a slippery snake. And I don't know if that's a YouTube video or if that's a Vine or if that's, like, I don't know what the origin of that is. But it's one of those things that I feel like is just within the cultural zeitgeist of the world and everybody references it. And, like, I know people who reference it. I just referenced it now with this thing, but, like, I don't think I've ever actually seen the original content. Mm-hmm. Your own stabbing needles. I just caught that. I feel like I just did it. I'm like, oh yeah, like Kay is crafting too. And I was like, no. She means her cat. The stabby needles. I love that. Yeah, it was funny. On a previous stream, I was chatting with somebody because one of the things that I always say when my partner is like playing with our dog Shadow, and he'll like ruffle his face, like he'll be like playing with him and he'll like, you know, give him like really intense scratches, and I always say that he's rustling his jimmies. And I knew that was like a random meme, and so I was chatting and I was like, oh yeah, it's like circa, you know, anywhere between 2004 and like, or no, it was like 2008 and 2014, because it was a person, like somebody that I used to date used to just send me memes from Reddit all day because it was a long distance thing. And so that was one of them. And so somebody looked it up and it was, I think, actually a 2010 meme. He went on like Know Your Meme or something. So that was another one that that we found the origin. But I was pretty impressed with myself that I was able to sort of like pinpoint the sort of year range that this meme would have materialized, and I was kind of right. But that's one that that one I'm not sure. The snake one I'm not entirely sure about. Yeah, Shadow needs his nails trimmed as well. He's getting groomed at the end of the month, so do you trim your cat's claws yourself? Okay. 'Cause that must be if it's anything like when Shadow gets his nails trimmed, it's probably an ordeal. Okay, before we super commit to the placement of this, I just want to make sure it's lined up. Yeah. Looks good. Looks queued up. Safety first, friends. Okay. And we'll just splay this out. Ooh! Oh no! I protected the wrong finger. It's fine, guys. It's fine. We may have just given ourselves a little stabby stab. But it's cool. I think we'll be fine. Whoops. Okay. Let's keep that very far. Only leather-bound fingers near the project. Okay. I don't know what sort of music Pretzel Rocks be playing right now. Is this supposed to be chill? And like, I guess it's chill, but it's not quite the vibe. Okay. And hopefully we can finish this without stabbing ourselves again. Okay. It's not bad. I think we need a little bit more curve here. It's kind of, it's like a purple elephant snout. Okay. Yeah, is it looks symmetrical? Sorta, kinda, maybe. Definitely think, yeah, frag fits in here easily, so I definitely think we can make this a little bit smaller. I think too, we need to... No? Is that like a taboo term that I should be wary of? Is that like slang for something? The purple elephants? I know Dumbo thinks of pink elephants. Or no. Yeah, it's pink elephants, right? Pink elephants on parade. Okay. It's very cute. If it was gray, it sort of gives me like Over the Garden Wall vibes. Like this is something, like this would be the teapot that Greg puts on his head. Oh, interesting. I'll have to look into that one. I've never heard of that one before. That's always the thing, right? Yeah, as soon as you tell somebody not to think of something, that's the first thing that pops into their brain, isn't it? Oh my god. So, you just read my brain, Kay? Because I was totally thinking about that as well. Yeah. That was something I never got into, but I used to do youth work with a bunch of kids, and they used to drive each other mad doing that to each other. Yeah. Oh my goodness. That's so funny. I was literally just thinking about the game. And it was the whole, like, what's the game? I don't know, but you lost it. Like, that's so funny. Hi, Vincent! It's going good. It's going good. We're just finishing up our needle felted tea poots. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. You missed me stab myself in the finger, but luckily we've stopped bleeding, so that's good. It wasn't that bad. But yeah, we're almost done our little teapot for the day. Oh. So I don't know if you guys can hear Shadow whining from downstairs. Yeah. Yeah, really. I'm sure there's a saying about, like, you know, you must bleed for your art or some nonsense like that. There we go. We're getting there. It's looking cute. The goal is to get it so that it's the right size that we can stick a little dormouse in it. A la Alice in Wonderland. We don't have the dormouse yet. I've been using Freg the Frog as a guide, and it's working so far. He's being a good indicator of the size we need. But I think the dormouse and the lid will be next Thursday's plan. So next needle felting Thursday, we will create the lid and the dormouse. But this is what we managed to create. Started at 3. So I'd say not bad for a few hours work. Made a whole ass teapot minus the lid. Yeah, blood, sweat, and tears. Thankfully, no tears have been shed. Only good tears. Only tears of joy. Okay. Check it out, gang. We did it. It did not look like this to start. No siree. It didn't look anything like this. But that is the magic of needle felting. You can take some floofs and some sharp needles and stab it until you make art. And isn't that just like the coolest thing? So I think we were going to call it today. But thank you so much for everyone who stopped by. Thank you so much for the new followers. We're so close to 40. If we can get to 40 to the end of the month, that would be absolutely bananas. And then we just need 10 more to get to 50 before my birthday. And that would just be the best birthday present ever. So that's what we ended up with. Should we raid someone? We need to find someone to raid. None of our friends are streaming right now. Let's see who is around. Oops. Does anybody have any suggestions of who we should raid? Ooh, prop making and tea. T is the magic title, so I think we're gonna go hang out with Dragon Armory. That sounds super chill. That's not what I wanted. This is what I want. Dragon Armory. Wow. Okay. He mentioned tea, so we obviously have to go and check it out. I feel like we must. Nice to meet you too, Kay. Thank you so much for the follow. Okay, we are now hosting. We can